guys, welcome to today's Big Brother Canada updates and spoilers. Our house guest of the day is Kathy Thornburg. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon, and thank you also for the sweet message. I'm really tired, but it really meant a lot to me, so thank you. And if you guys have already supported us on Patreon and you haven't been house guest of the day yet, please, please, please check your messages on Patreon so I can get your questions and we can make this happen. Alright, so, also, if you want to be house guest of the day, please support us on Patreon. The link is in the info box below. Okay, so now we can get started. Yesterday they had the Power Veto competition, and like we talked about, it was an Allegiant theme, like the Divergent series. So this challenge was physical and mental. I think it was probably similar to what they did for the original Divergent movie in like season 2. It was probably like that, where they had a puzzle and like physical stuff. So the players were Lavita, Christine, Cassandra, Ramsey, Dallas, and Jared. And the host was Tim. Alright, so it seems like this challenge was pretty brutal because Christine hurt her back, Cassandra hurt her ankle, like there were injuries all over the place. But Dallas was the big winner. Not only did he win the veto, he also won an advanced screening of the movie, so that's pretty exciting. And he decided to pick Maddie, Joel, and Lavita to join him, so we'll get to that later. But strategy-wise, Dallas is like really freaking pumped. He wants to use that veto, and he wants Lavita to backdoor the brothers. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. So Dallas asked Lavita, hey girl, would you be happy if I shook things up a bit? And she's like, no, because that would mean that she'd have to get more blood on her hands. But then at the same time, she's like, ultimately, it's up to you, so I'm not going to tell you what to do with your veto. But they agree to speak about it more in private later. We'll get there. So, in the meantime, Joel is chatting with Lavita, and he's like, you know what, maybe we should consider keeping Cassandra. You know, it could be good to have her around. And Lavita's like, no, I still want her to go. I want Cass gone. She doesn't trust her. She doesn't like that she's so close to Kelsey, but she's also like bad-mouthing Kelsey to Lavita. So she's not really sure where Cassandra actually stands. She doesn't trust her. So then Tim and Lavita chat in the HOH room, and she's kind of pissed at him because she heard that he's going around saying that these nominations are weak and stuff. And she's like, why are you campaigning for Cassandra and like bad-mouthing my nominations when you told me that it would be fine to nominate her? So Tim is like, what? So he's like, no, I'm not working with Cassandra. We're just good friends. I'm not campaigning for her. Relax. So then they're talking about how neither of them really are working with other people, and Tim is explaining he wants to work with the misfits in the middle. He feels like those are his people. That's what he wants. So then they discuss a potential alliance with the two of them, Nikki, Mitch, and Joel. And then maybe later even adding on the brothers. But they don't want to do that yet because they feel like everybody else in that group is like going to keep it quiet and it's fine. But the brothers, questionable. They have big mouths, or at least Phil does. Nick doesn't really... Is Nick even playing? I don't know. But anyway, they're thinking about maybe, you know, solidifying that alliance. So that's interesting. I don't know if that would actually work, but we'll see. So Dallas and Lavita, this is Dallas's big chance to make his case. So they're talking about the power veto. Dallas is really pushing for the brothers to be the renom. He's worried that they're going to get to play as individuals somewhere down the line. He's not feeling that. He's not feeling some type of way about that. So Lavita is like, I think it would be better for your game to get rid of Cassandra. So she's trying to convince him, like, no, don't use that veto. So her reasoning is that Cassandra is working with the trio of Jared, Kelsey, and Raul, so they need to get rid of her. Also, if they evict the brothers, they're going to be doing the trio's dirty work, so, like, why would they want to do that? So, I mean, there was so much back and forth here, and it seemed like no one was making any gains. A lot of talking in circles with Lavita and Dallas. And then she's like, you know what? I think you should use the power of veto as leverage to make a deal with the brothers. Guarantee yourself some safety. Okay, so I don't think Dallas is into that. I think he still wants the brothers out. But I don't know. It just seems like they weren't going to agree on what to do. I don't know how that's going to be resolved, but we'll see. So then eventually it was Phil's turn to talk to Levita upstairs, and I feel like Phil did not handle this conversation well at all. He was like, so if Dallas uses the veto, don't freaking put us up. Like, and he said that multiple times. He's like, don't put us up. It's like a real don't tase me bro situation. I mean, really though. And then he was like, because if you do put us up, like, we're going to have the votes to stay, and you're going to be sorry. So, if I was Levita, I would be like, oh, whoa, are you threatening me? I would bring out the Sabrina quote. So Levita's like, yo, I'm not going to put you up, but I just want you to know that plenty of people have come up to me and said that they wanted you out. So, like, I would be able to get votes. So just, like, calm your shit. So she tells Phil, like, I care about you and Nick as people. I don't want to get rid of you. And I just think it's really weird that it almost seems like Levita is pushing away all the people that actually want to work with her and actually care about her. And she's like, she's just craving the love of these people that don't want her. It's really weird. I don't know. So this morning, Cassandra was telling Tim that she talked to Levita yesterday, and Levita basically told her that she's her target. Yeah, that really happened. So Tim is not happy about this because we know he's like besties with Cassandra. And he's like, we need to keep you here this week, and next week we need to put Levita in her place and get rid of her. So then Tim was talking to Nikki, and he's like, we can't trust Levita. She's a user. She's gonna, like, pull in whoever she needs for the time being, and then when that's done, she's gonna get rid of him. So he doesn't like that. I mean, just yesterday they were talking about forming an alliance together. I don't know how genuine Tim was being in that moment, but now it's not gonna happen. So he's telling Nikki we should lay low for the time being. Next week, let people go after Levita. You know Kelsey's going to want her out. You know Cassandra's going to want her out. Just, like, let it happen. And we'll just keep our mouths shut. Alright, so Jared, Dallas, and Christine were chatting. This is an interesting grouping. But they all agreed that they need to unite against a common enemy. The brothers. So they're, like, realizing that Levita must have some sort of deal with the brothers because she is very resistant to the idea of nominating them if the POV is used. So they're like, wow, it's pretty obvious that they're working together, and if Levita has to deal with them, then Joel probably has to deal with them too because Levita and Joel are so close. So they're like, we can't talk about the brothers to Levita or Joel anymore. It's not a good idea. So they agree, like, we're not going to do that. Alright, so then Levita and Joel were chatting, and, like, this is where I just want to pull Levita aside and be like, stop. What are you doing? So she's talking to Joel, and she's thinking about maybe we should nominate a power player like Kelsey as the replacement. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for Kelsey going. Kelsey annoys me to no end. But I just think, like, why would you do this now and not before? Like, before you pissed everyone off. Like, yes, continue to piss off more people, and now go after the trio. It just doesn't make sense. So Joel is like, I think we should leave it how it is. I think that's, you know, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. So Phil confronts Cass about some rumors. I feel like Phil is starting to implode a little bit. He's talking to Cassandra, and he's like, people are telling me that you said I should go up as the replacement. And Cassandra denies it, which is a lie. She was saying that to a lot of people. So Cassandra's like, I didn't see that. Should I call a house meeting? And Phil's like, no. But Phil, I think he's causing a lot of problems for himself because he's also going around to other people and being like, if Levita puts me up as a replacement now, I'm going to call out my targets and she's going to be so sorry and blah, blah, blah. I don't think you should, like, threaten people that are in power. Like, you shouldn't threaten anybody, but especially, like, the HOH. And you shouldn't say this to people like Joel, who are best friends with the HOH. Okay, so there was a very sentimental moment in the house today. Today would have been Joel's brother's 35th birthday, but he passed away in 2011. So all the house guests gathered in the living room, and Joel was telling them about his brother. He lit a candle, and they all sang happy birthday, and then they had a moment of silence, and it was just like a really sweet moment. And it's nice to see things like that when we have all this other garbage going on. You know, it's nice to have those human moments, so that was cool. And happy birthday to Joel's brother, Matthew. Alright, so then more fun stuff. Well, that wasn't really, you know what I mean. More not game stuff. Dallas, Joel, Maddie, and Levita went to the backyard for their movie screening. Woo! And there was so much candy and snacks waiting for them. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to bring that into the rest of the house guests, but it'll be interesting to see if they share it. And Joel did get to eat the food, too, even though he's a have-not. So, the power veto ceremony should be tomorrow. Expect lots more scrambling tonight because it's still really unclear what's going to happen. I don't know if Dallas is even going to use the POV at this point because he's like, well, I'm not going to use it if she's going to, like, make a stupid decision. So, we'll see. I don't know. It's going to be crazy. So, don't miss it. And until tomorrow, much love.